Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 3 of our Let's Play on Life is Feudal. Now, I'm sorry about the delayed upload. I did provide my mic to my work, who did use it, and they appreciated that they get to use like my broadcaster mic. But anyway, let's continue on with Life is Feudal. Now, I'm starting this and it's in the evening time right now. As you can see, it's going into sunset, so we have to be quick about this episode. So, in the last episode we just exposed our iron vein. Now, one thing I didn't point out to people is you need to do a little bit of herbalism in this game, and it's god awful. I don't like it, nobody likes it. Somebody's been kind enough to actually haul out more iron for me, which was totally unnecessary, but come on guys, let me play the game. Let me show the other people that don't have this game why they should possibly get it and how to actually play it. But it was kind of you guys to do that. That's nice of you. But anyway, we've got tons and tons of iron now. Now let's just double check our skills of where we were last time. So our materials prep is currently at 60. That's good. We'll be able to make some charcoal on this episode. Our digging's at 60 and our mining's at 30. Now we can expose smelting. But see, before we do that, have you noticed that I've been lacking a wee bit in the combat side of things? I've still to decide what I'm going to be doing with it. But I'm considering going down the shield, into the swordsman tree, and into the lancer tree, because I love my lance, I love being a lancer, I love being a buff lancer. That's what I like to do. So, what's on today's agenda? Today, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to eat. We are going to definitely, as you can see down here, it's down at 45, however, look at the state of my stamina. So we're going to do a little bit of resting. We'll do a wee bit of talking, which is boring, but I'll be able to show you guys, or at least inform you guys, of how this is actually going to work. So, see, because my hard stamina is down low and my hunger bar is full, what it's doing is it's replenishing my hard stamina. Now, if I run out of hard stamina, I can't regain soft stamina, so I can't sprint or do any particular actions in the game. And I've just noticed something. Press F10 to change these things, by the way. There you go. Now, a lot of people were asking me questions in the previous video, episode 2 and episode 1. How do I instantaneously do the action, for example, lower the ground? When you go into your menu and you right click on something, you set it as the default action, and when you left click on a tile or something that you've set the default action to be, you can press E or you can press left click and it will just keep the default. That's why in episode 1 and episode 2, my terraforming was incredibly quick. That's why this area is nice and flat already. Now, my stamina, hard stamina, is almost at 30. As soon as it sits at 30, we can get on with the game. One more, and boop, there we go. Press 9, get back up on your feet. What we're going to do is we're going to press P, and we're going to go to the 5th tab. We're going to create a guild. And we're going to call ourselves FK. Oops! Pressed the wrong button. Pressed the wrong button. FK. And Feudal Knights. Except there's only one, so we'll only do that. There you go. Create guild. So the tag is just the abbreviation of this. And there we go. We're in a guild now. I am the guild leader, so I can invite a maximum of 63 people into this guild. We can also customize the heraldry. Now, in traditional fashion, you know what? See, because I'm from Scotland. No, white, blue. Save. There we go. And what will happen is when I have a shield or a tabard, what will happen is that will actually appear, that heraldry will appear on the shield or the tabard, and it'll make me stand out, and it'll be identifiable as well. So, as I said at the start, let's make some charcoal. So you need a saw for this, and you also need a hardwood billet. Is this hardwood? No, that's softwood. Lucky for me, there's plenty of hardwood over here. Now we're not touching that maple tree. I have turned down the luck factor, which I understand from what other people told me is what happened. My luck factor was too high in the game, and a lot of people were experiencing it as well, and I fixed that. So we can now touch this tree, but I'm you know that way when you do something that fails and you end up looking like a complete tit and you go to do it again and you're hesitant? That's kind of what I'm like with this maple tree right now. So let's gather 10. In fact, no, let's gather more than 10. Let's see if we can get as many as we can out of this. This is quality 70 stuff. This should be pretty good. We're going to get 12 billets out of that. Okay, so you take the billets, and because our materials prep is nice and high, we can actually use the kiln now. Now, oh, there we go. Forgot I stored them in there. You can actually use the kiln as a storage facility as well. Right, need to drag them across, drop them down, chuck them in, and fire this up. Now, you currently can't hear this at the moment because I have object sounds turned all the way down. Object sounds make the game very, very loud, and it's recommended that you do turn these off. If you go to settings, go to audio, you can see the object sounds is currently off. That's good, because this thing roars like a beast. It's horrible. So do these. These roar like beasts as well, and it's awful. So, what charcoal does is it provides us a better fuel source for smelting iron or any particular metal, silver, copper, iron, or gold. And I'll also show you the amounts that you'll need for ingots, for bars, and for lumps of iron, and that's what we'll do today. Now, we will eventually need to get a guild monument up, and a guild monument is essentially just a bigger monument that allows us to claim a bigger portion of territory. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to be planning this out, I'm going to be building up the side here. I'm going to try and work with the land here as opposed to against it. I'm going to build up here as well, so I'm thinking about putting my monument right here. So if I right click and I go to build the monument, and we want to build that. And it's a big sword, as you can see. Now we can upgrade this. This is an upgradable building. It has 4 stages. It has this stage, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Each stage gobbles up a lot of territory. The first monument doesn't gobble up a lot. I think it's a radius of 15, which is a diameter of 30. And there we go. There's the things we need for it. So we can get these, and we might be able to get these. These are going to be the problem. I hate herbalism with a passion, an unyielding passion. I hate it. Now, for those who watched my old videos as well, you'll know I hate it as well. I might as well show you why I hate it. Alright, let's see if we can make something. Okay, we need a rock. We need a whole rock and rock. So let's go get a rock. What we'll do is we'll just dig a tunnel downwards. There we go. And we'll create a mortar and pestle. Now, a mortar and pestle is used for crafting recipes, specifically recipe preparations. Preparations are essentially the combination of 2 or 3 different herbs. This allows them to transform into things like strength potions or strength preparations, stamina preparations, willpower preparations, all that good stuff. However, getting them is the pain in the ass part, and we've also got to touch this tree for a minute. Gather a branch. We want to gather lots of branches, or just one branch for right now. We need a sickle. Now, this goes through the nature's lore route, right? So we're currently at 60 nature's lore. We'll need to go through this. We need to go through this skill, herbalism, which is essentially combining recipes together using the mortar and pestle. Now let's create a primitive tool. I don't like doing this. This particular skill, I resent it, I hate it. I wish there was a quicker way of doing it, but there's no quick way of doing it. It's the only skill in this game that I find incredibly annoying, because it takes up so much time. Farming, you guys who do farming or you do smithing, you might argue that that's the longest skill to progress, or animal lore, sorry. I don't think so. I think herbalism is probably the worst skill that you're gonna have to go through. I mean, if you're a fan of collecting herbs in MMO games, then yeah, this is probably the skill for you. But for sane and normal people, It is not is not something that I like at all. So these billets are almost done. As you can see that the heat signature is almost up and it's almost full. That means as soon as this is full, we get to pull out. Haha, pull out. We get to pull out that the charcoal that will be made from those hardwood billets. Now, you can only make charcoal from hardwood billets. You can't make them from softwood. Softwood will not work. Just to iterate that, guys. Hardwood for charcoal, softwood for handles. Okay? Okay. Right, we'll bring this over and we'll see if we can fill the guild monument up with some hardwood. There we go, press R. And we go to sort out a billet. Now, I need to keep an eye on the kiln at the moment, because if I let it burn too long, it will burn through all the hardwood billets that we've actually placed in it. Which means we get no charcoal from it. Right, build monument. And we want to put in these 5, so we need another 15. And there's an elm and a few maple trees over there. Let's double check the kiln. It's ready. We can pull out the charcoal, select mass produce. Now, if you've got more than 12 billets in there, it will give you the option to pull out a load of charcoal, and that is one big action that produces, I believe, 40. Oh, excuse me. 40 charcoal, instead of like pulling it out one by one like we're doing right here. So we've got a bunch of charcoal. So what we can do now is we can store that up. So look in inventory, and we can just control left click and it'll instantly throw it into the container. Easy peasy. Right, we can also turn this off as well. We don't want this wasting durability. Each time you use a building, it will waste in durability. So if we right click this and inspect, because we've just used it, as you can see, it is drained by nearly over 300 durability points, which is pretty fast. Now, the only way of combating this and making that number higher is by using higher quality material to build the kiln. That's what you need to do in order to make it, you know, last a long time. So, let's get our axe out. Cut down this big oak tree. This isn't a mature oak tree. This is like its adolescent stage. No, teenage. It's not adolescent, is it? I've got no idea what I'm talking about. But it's basically in the middle form. It's not a sprout. It's not a young sapling. It's the middle stage. It's not mature yet. I don't know how you pronounce that. You guys who are tree experts in the comments, what do you call it? It's not adolescent. It's something else. I keep thinking teenage years because it makes sense to me. Right, we'll hopefully get 15 billets from this, and it's quality 79, so we're gonna get a lot. Although, because it was a teenage tree, we might not get a lot. We'll find out. At least we are. Yep, we're nearly 3/4 of the way through with the billets. That's a good start. Now, this also requires shaped rock, and you saw me that there was some shaped rock in my kiln. I did drop that in a bag, and I believe it's right here. So what we can do is we can pick that up as well, and we can throw it in. Now, it's going to get incredibly dark in a minute. As you can see, it's starting to hit nightfall, which means I'll need to make a little torch and stand out in the dark. Which I would not advise to anybody in this game. Don't stand out in the open with a torch on your back. You will get killed. You will have somebody shooting bolts or arrows at you. Or if you spot a horse, it's potential that that's a lancer and you're a big dummy target. And he will probably attack you. Okay, so the problem now is it's getting dark. I need to gather some materials. I need to gather some herbs. Best way to do this, to get a nightlight, press F3. This is your nightlight. Don't run about with your don't run about with your torch out, because you will stand out like a big sore thumb. Right, we want to look for herbs. There we go. There's a whole bunch of herbs. These are herb plants. Oh, it's because I've not got that attached. see, because there's people on here that I know will try and kill me, I'm going to keep my primitive axe on me. I know they will try and attack me. So let's gather these. Now, gathering herbs is usually... It usually takes ages, but because I've sped everything up on the server, you don't have to spend long to get these. Which is pretty damn good, if you ask me. Because I hate herbalism. I hate it. I resent it. Now, I might not get all the herbs or all the preparations done tonight, so what I'll do is I'll play it a little bit longer after this episode is made, just so I can get the 40 preps. They are very, very important because they are probably the most demanding part of the actual monument. It's a very expensive thing to do, or expensive thing to have on as a player, because not only do you have to fuel it, you actually have to maintain it. And you do that by sacrificing things to it. For example, iron goods, tools, weapons, armor, jewellery. You can sacrifice just about everything to it, apart from primitive stuff. Non-refined materials, for example, planks, hardwood billets, stones, sling ammo, those things will not work. You can experiment yourselves when you build a guild monument to see which things it will accept and what things it won't accept. The easiest thing to put in it at the start is probably handles, and you get them through softwood. Softwood billets. Using a knife, you create some more handles, make about 10 of them, and you'll get about 3,000 points to spend. Now, this is essentially the life of a herbalist early game. You run about, you you right click the ground, you look for herbs, and this is what you do. You go around collecting herbs just like this. Eventually, in late game, you'll eventually get things like herb gardens. Now, there's a specific preparation. Oh, F3. There's a specific preparation in this game called flux. Flux, in combination with iron, creates steel. Now, that is something that I will leave for another video. That will be for episode 4 actually. I'll explain that in episode 4, what flux is and how it gets you steel, and the levels of materials that you need to increase the quality of like armor, weapons and tools. I'll explain that in episode 4, but for episode 3 we are doing some more grueling PvE tasks. Now, I'm keeping my ears wide open right now because it's night time, and night time means people are usually out stalking others, and they probably know I'm online because all you have to do is press escape and go to the player menu. And because I've released an episode with my map wide open, everybody knows where I am, which means I'm a sitting duck. All they have to do is come over and attack me. I mean, I'll put up a fight, but the only thing that they're gonna be getting off of me is really maybe herbs, which is useful because I've just collected them herbs, but nothing else. Nothing else that's substantial. Now, you're probably wondering, why are you still collecting these? You need loads. You need tons. You're going to need 40. You need the equivalent of essentially 80 herbs to make 40 preparations. So I am gathering as many as I possibly can. Now, one cool update about the game is, see when you hover over the herb, it gives you the name. So this is Viridi Urcea, or Urcea? Rusea? Maybe. Anyway, they've all got fancy names, and you guys on the MMO, you herbalists on the MMO, I know personally that you people have your favourite herbs. You have favourite herbs. You're weirdos. How can you like herbing? This is grueling. This is annoying. I would rather be farming right now. That's another skill we need to work on as well. Oh, there's so much to do in such little time, especially in between episodes. I try to make these episodes at least 30 to 40 minutes long to get as much into them as possible, especially for you guys, because I want to show as much as I possibly can of this game to you guys. Especially the guys who are not familiar with this game and are thinking about buying it. A lot of people have been actually considering buying it just because of my videos, and that is really humbling to know that you guys are wanting to buy this game just because I make a bunch of videos. That is really nice to know. So we ran out of durability in the old sickle there, so we're going to transfer to a new one. Lucky I made 3. You probably noticed my inventory there as well is an absolute state with herbs. Look at it. Look at that. Now, if I recall correctly, you can, I think it's shift click or shift right click. No, it's shift click, or is it control click? Is it shift click? Is it alt click? I can't remember. There's a particular combination that you can do in this game where if it finds a double of the herb in your inventory, it will instantly snap it and it will combine it with the same herb. So you're not sitting there with 2 the same, you're sitting with 2 stacked, if that makes sense. You're not sitting with, like, for example, if this one was the same and this one was the same, it wouldn't be sitting like this, it would be sitting like these. It would have a little number 2 beside them, and then you can make as many as you want from that, and that's a good thing to have. It does affect the quality of the preparation made, so I suppose early game it's good, but late game it's probably not good. And I did mention herb gardens. Herb gardens are late game buildable objects where you can place specific herbs in them and grow that herb in a mass production amount. So for example, instead of collecting 1 from here, if this was a herb garden, I could collect a maximum of 10 or 15, I believe it is, or 5. I think it's 5. I can't remember if it's either one of those. I've not used them in ages. Right, for security purposes, I'm going to run back into my little shack. I'm going to turn F3 off to show you just how dark it is. Now, if you can't see that, can you see just off in the distance to my right, there's a light? That's another person's claim. Somebody has claimed the island or the land just over here. Just right here, or just up on this hill here. I believe that there is a settlement on here as well. As you can see, look, there's the terraformed land right there. You can actually make it out. So if I open it up, right up, you can see that the land here has been kind of scarred. It's kind of turned a dark brown. That's somebody terraforming there. There's also somebody here. I believe that's Magnus. There's one there. There's another place right there. There might be a few places down here as well. And I believe that's a place right there. So yeah, you can actually tell where a lot of people are building. Right, let's get to materials. Let's get to the awesome skill of preparations. Mix a preparation, right? This is how you do it. Always open up system. Okay, so we've got grave weight, which is not good. We need positive preparations. Okay, so we don't have any of those anymore. So we can, if you control left click, it will instantly throw them into here. Right, so we got nothing from that, but you can drag them over like this. Now, mineral catalyst and organic catalysts damages stamina. Okay, so we're not getting very good ones right now. We're getting kind of bad ones right now. They're not. We need positive ones that affect you in a positive way, not in a negative way. So let's see if we can get a few. Now, I understand that this is boring. This is a boring thing to watch, but this is part of getting a guild monument up and running. It never used to cost preparations, and I'm really angry that they did change it to this system, this horrible system of needing these preparations put into a guild monument. It's awful. Okay, so we got an adrenaline preparation. That's a good one. The green ones, if it says restores HP and it's green in colour, that means it's good. So we can create 2 of those. There we go, there's our second one. So now we can make more. So let's just left click through these actually. I believe it's shift. I can't remember if it is though. I can't remember. You guys who are herbalists, share your secrets in the comments. Am I doing this right? See, even I don't know if I'm doing this right. I just have to do it by luck. It's everything in this is luck to me. I just don't like it. I just don't like doing herbalism. It's a pain in the neck. Okay, so that's a good one. There we go. Raise max. What's that? Max stamina. Soft stamina. Okay, so we've got 3 now. So we are we're 37 away. Okay, so that didn't do anything. Right. Tell you what, see, for the sake of everything, what I'll do is I'll pause it here and I'll come back when I have all these preparations made. Now, my inventory is going to look like an absolute mess after this. So, what I'll do is I'll pause it right here, and, oh, we got another good one. I'll pause it, and when I come back with the 40, we'll be ready to go and hunt for the bones. Right, I'll see you in about a second. This is going to be a cool little transition, so see ya. Right, folks, I believe we've got about 40 preparations right here, so let's just double check, right? So let's see if we've got enough. This will be the deciding factor, actually. I might not have 40 here. Might have to go back and do a wee bit more. So let's add. That's definitely not 40. We might have to go back and get some more. No, not that one. Replace the saw. We might not have 40 here, so we'll see. This might be like 20. But as you can see, look at the state of my inventory. It's an absolute clutter of preparations and herbs and things like that. Oh, let's see what we get. Oh, we've only got 21. We've only got half of them. Oh, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it here, because this preparation work is gonna take a wee while, and I've shown you exactly what it takes to get at least 20 down, and it's a pain in the neck. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed episode 3, and I apologise that I didn't upload yesterday about the broadcaster mic situation. I did have to lend it to them, and they did appreciate the use of it. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it here, and this is going to be episode 3. We did a little bit of herbalism, we did a wee bit of explanations about the claim, some charcoal work as well, that's quite important. So guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, leave a big thumbs up, it helps me out, it tells me you guys are still enjoying the series, and I'll keep on doing this type of series with you guys in mind. If you've enjoyed it that much, consider subscribing and ringing the little bell. You'll stay up to date with all of the episodes that I put out on this, and I'm going to make them daily, so tomorrow there's going to be an upload between 8 and 10 o'clock UK time. So guys, from myself, my little shack, Mr. Gloom, and my only half-filled monument, I'm Mr. Feudal. I'll see you all later.